and welcome to today's episode of The Shipper, where we continue to explore the inner workings of the Nigerian Shippers Council. Over the next few episodes, we'll delve into the various departments and units that make up the council, shedding light on their responsibilities and services in their quest to fulfill the mandate of this all-important parastatal of the Federal Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. Today's focus is on the complaints unit, what it does, its role in the council's operations, and its impact on stakeholders. We'll also have Idowu Ogungbemi joining us for the Titbit segments with updates from local and international maritime scenes. Stay tuned as we go on a short break.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Welcome back to The Shipper, proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Shippers Council, the nation's port economic regulator. Abike Idowu is my name. In 2014, the council was designated as Nigeria's port economic regulator under the federal government's reform agenda. This strengthened its capacity to drive economic development by moderating costs and addressing cargo transport challenges, ultimately contributing to positive trends in the nation's economy. Having fed you with this starter, let's dive into the main meal with Lucy Iyambi.
Though multifaceted in its structure, the Nigerian Shippers Council's activities can broadly be grouped into 4 categories based on their functions. Port Economic Regulator, ensuring fairness in tariffs and charges for operations within the nation's ports. Shippers Representation, advocating for shippers' interests in their dealings at the ports. Information and Research, collating, analyzing, and providing data-driven insights into port operations. Shippers Support, offering advisory and educational services to shippers, shipping line operators, and other service providers at the ports. The Assistant Director and Head of the Complaints Unit, Dr. Bashir Ambi, provided insights into the unit's workings under the Council's Port Economic Regulatory Mandate.
Nigerian Shippers Council, prior to our regulatory functions, we are to protect the interests of the Nigerian shippers at that time. In addition, now we are the port economy regulator of the country. Anything that has to do with shipping, logistics, and transport, grievances are usually unavoidable. Complaints are inevitable. How do we manage such complaints? You can see the collaboration. As a result, there must be a unit that will be handling any complaints that could arise from the stakeholders. In summary, that is why this unit is, we are to amicably resolve, intervene, and resolve complaints from stakeholders. As an unbiased umpire in the industry, Shippers Council established these units to ensure that we resolve stakeholders' complaints.
Dr. Ambi also highlighted the unit's milestone achievements in 2024, including resolving numerous complaints amicably through alternative dispute resolution principles, thus adding significant value to the nation's economy.
How much were we able to save the economy in 2024? The amount saved the economy was from January to 31st of December, complaints unit was able to save the economy 773-593-972-333. So how do we achieve this money if there is no assistance from the management? Then a level playground was created by the management. We have support. We've been trained to handle all manner of complaints once it is not criminal.
The head of the complaints unit attributed the success of the unit recorded in the past year to the unwavering support it has received from the NSC boss.
Primarily, we report to the chief executive. And you can see The thinking, the principle behind reporting to the chief executive is that it enhances delivery of our investigation. It facilitates that. You don't need to go through all the bureaucracy you report to organ. And you may know the reason why we have been achieving all the successes through is because there has never been interference from the management. Honestly speaking, document come here, no interference. Go and handle complaints the way they are supposed to handle.
With regard to top priorities for the year, Dr. Ambi said that the unit wants exporters to transport their cargoes without any complaints, just as importers should do. According to him, though complaints are inevitable, the unit will work assiduously to reduce the numbers.
We want trade to be facilitated more. We want ease of doing business to be enhanced. And how do we do that? When we have less number of complaints in the industry, we will achieve that. Though it's not that we attend to every complaint, we check. Does your complaint have merit? Do you have a merited complaint? That's the first thing. If you have, let's see your documents. When we go through your shipping documents, fine. Or it is a shipping company reporting this company to us, so company will verify. And once we get that, we do it. It's not that after resolving the complaints that is the end of everything. No. We ensure that they maintain the relationship. We don't want the relationship to break up like that, no.
He also highlighted certain challenges such as difficulty locating addresses provided by complainants, container deposits refunds, and the failure to return boxes to shipping companies.
This fictitious address has to be addressed, please. Let's be ourselves. Once we are carrying shipping company boxes, we should be able to return it back to the base. Please, we are appealing that stakeholders should bring back boxes. Equally, shipping company must not be holding container deposits. These are part of few challenges that we address here. But that one that is painful is the people that could deliberately abandon their cargo so that they have the feeling that it may be auctioned to them. How do you know that it will be auctioned to you? That's another problem which has to be addressed, but we'll keep on sensitizing.
Senior Program Analyst Mr. Abubakar Adamu Biu said the unit's information and communication technology plays a key role in the electronic and virtual receipt of complaints. He also spoke on the benefits of the Port Service Support Portal to stakeholders.
If we're going to be doing effective economic regulation, we need regulatory instruments that will help contribute value to the national economy. From a complaints perspective, the Port Service Support Portal is one of such tools. Like we said, aggregate reports, right, which help us build in a systemic manner a regulatory framework that helps also in policy, formation and the rest of you. So we have realistic information on what the trends are in complaints, what category of complaints are out on the high, and which ones are on the low, and then they inform us on what kind of advice we can give, to the key decision makers on what steps they can take, to either mitigate these issues or to outrightly, deal with them.
Operations Officer Mr. Yaya Wachiko explained how complainants are handled for shipping companies, while Senior Operations Officer Mr. Vincent Nkwacha spoke on the unit's collaboration with terminal operators.
We have issues that bordered on placing lien on cargo. It's a situation whereby a lien being placed on cargo of a particular consignee that maybe is indebted to a particular shipping company. So what a shipping company does, they await the right time till when this particular same consignee, is having a new shipment. And by the time they are sure now that a new shipment is coming, is already on the IC, they will now flag the indebtedness to this consignee and thereby place a lien on his new shipment until when the previous financial obligation that is between him and the shipping company is cleared. And this lien has caused a little ruffle between the players.
We look at small-scale buyers or importers, whereby they don't have that fund to be able to ship in cargoes in large quantities. They bring in these goods in the smaller bits, look for probably a third party or look for a shipment or probably a container to just move in their cargoes down to Nigeria, and it's being cleared as a single cargo instead of it being done bit by bit. And issues with this, we look at CBMs. That is how these are being calculated in terms of CBM, cubic meters. That is how they are being calculated. We've been able to save money for the nation, and that is where Nigerian Shippers Council comes to play, serving as that port economic regulatory agency, adding value, not just value to the complainants or the customers, but value to the nation at large.
Principal Operations Officer Mrs. Fumilayo Afolabi identified challenges faced by the unit, including fake documentation, indiscriminate container dropping, and other operational hurdles.
We all know that container, currently for shipping companies, container is money. And to construct a container or to build a container, it can take them like $8,000. And these agents, some of them will collect container. You collecting a container, you have grace period. After that grace period elapses, if you do not return that container on time, detention charges will accrue. And some of them, it takes longer time before returning the container, and the process, they rather drop it at the roadside. That's why you see on the highway, you see some container lying down there. It's because they have found they don't want to pay these detention charges. The negative acts that they are doing, that is enlightenment. We need to enlighten them the more to tell them that, okay, you presenting a fake document it can affect business opportunities for them. Because if today you present a fake document to me, next time I will not want to give you a business. So it's better you follow due process or processes, and you'll be able to enjoy the continuity in business.
Meanwhile, stakeholders acknowledged the unit's vital role in addressing their complaints promptly and effectively.
The council is really making frantic effort to make sure that we add to the economic scale of this economy.
Whenever issue happens, there's always appropriate body you can report that matter to. This one happens to be a consignment that involves a shipping company. Shippers Council, they are the right people to report that matter to. So in Nigeria, we have many other agencies. Before now, I'm not aware of all these things. But as it happens, and I've come to the right place, and the matter has been settled, I'm very happy, I must say.
We brought the case in 2 weeks, and we got a fair resolution. We're not expecting something like this, but with the technicalities and expertise of the Nigerian Shippers Council, we are happy with the resolution. Shippers Council has acted as a big brother in bringing this case to an end, because there was a loggerhead with my organization and the said terminal in Copy. But we're happy with the old resolution from the Nigerian Shippers Council.
The complaints unit play a vital role in ensuring that Nigerian Shippers Council delivers on its mandate as the port economic regulator, fostering smooth operations and resolving issues for stakeholders across the maritime sector.
Shippers Council's complaints unit remains dedicated to ensuring efficiency and fairness in port operations, resolving disputes and supporting stakeholders through innovative approaches and strategic interventions. As Nigeria's port economic regulator, the Council's impact on the maritime sector is undeniable, with a clear commitment to sustaining progress and addressing challenges head-on. And now, let's join Idowu Ogungbemi for Tidbits, where he brings you the latest updates from the world of maritime, both local and international. Over to you, Idowu.
Good day and welcome to the Tidbits segment of The Shipper. I am Idowu Ogungbemi, and we've got some thrilling stories bringing you key insights and updates from the maritime industry. Let's go straight into the top stories. It was indeed a celebration galore as Nigerian Shippers Council celebrated Mrs. Adaku Victoria Okam, who bowed out from service after attaining the mandatory retirement age of 60. Mrs. Okam, who joined Nigerian Shippers Council in 1992, was posted to the Public Relations Unit as a Public Relations Officer. Through commitment and dedication, she rose to the position of Director in the Council. In his keynote address, the Executive Secretary and CEO of NSC, Pius Akuta Emuhen, lauded the retirees' commitment, dedication, and good disposition while in service. The council boss who spoke through the Director's Strategic Planning and Research Department, Mr. Olurotimi Anifowoshe, reiterated celebrants' initiative in the council. This includes the launching of electronic content management system, initiation of town hall meetings, and end-of-the-year party, among other initiatives with remarkable legacy in the council.
Beyond your professional accomplishments, you have been a source of wisdom, encouragement, and kindness. Your ability to connect with people, listen, and offer guidance has made you not just a colleague, but a trusted friend to so many of us. As you step into this new chapter of your life, filled with well-deserved rest, new adventures, and time with your loved ones, know that you leave behind a legacy that will continue to inspire us.
The representative of the council's management, Mr. Bestu Philemon, spoke on Mrs. Okam's humility, discipline, tolerance, and accurate disposition throughout her service in the council.
She is visible everywhere for good. Wherever she is, she brings pleasure in the environment. Most times when I see her, I say, this woman again. Because whatever is making you feel bad, your mind will change when you meet her. Even her smile alone will make you change your mind on certain things.
Mr. Mukhtar Yakubu, President of the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Shippers Council, noted that the union has always engaged with the Human Resources Department on staff welfare, adding that Mrs. Okam has genuinely addressed their concerns.
Madam always accommodate my pressure. I come to her, I say this is happened, this happened. Sometimes she will like it, even though she will not like it, she will still accept me. I appreciate you for that. One thing I also like with Madam is that even though I'm giving her pressure, she is a leader, she always find a way to bring me closer and said, President, we need to do this. We need to do this, we need to do this. And I have to appreciate that she has ensured that the union are carried along in almost all the activities of HR.
In his comment, the Deputy Director, Learning and Development, Mr. Moses Abere, described the former director as a transformational leader with immense qualities.
Our stint in HR was a one that was very, very inspiring. Very, very inspiring. Embodied excellence, embodied leadership, and embodied integrity. I will never forget the years we worked together. More than, I was discussing with my colleague this morning, I think it's 29 years now that I've known her. And in those 29 years, we worked in 3 departments together. She's a woman of excellence.
In her response, the celebrant called on members of the council staff to embrace teamwork and be committed to their assigned duties.
The horizon looks very bright for Nigerian Shippers Council. I want to use this opportunity to encourage each and every one of you, even if it's a minute that is remaining, work with all your heart. If it doesn't pay in here, it pays somewhere. Know that.
Correct.
Support one another. Look out for one another. Please be a team player. Don't run alone because you could get tired. But when you run like as a team, it's difficult to get tired because at the point at which you're getting tired, another person is starting. That's where the next person's strength starts. Go for the best. Go for the stars. And believe you me, it is achievable. If I could achieve it, everyone here is better than me.
We encourage you to follow our social media pages at NG Shippers on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube for more updates. Let's turn to our complaints register for the week. The Nigerian Shippers Council has received 4 ongoing complaints. These include issues of cargo delay, excessive charges, damaged cargo, and outrageous billing. We encourage stakeholders to visit our website at www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng for more information or to lodge their concerns. Now, let's talk about the international maritime sector. The Grimaldi Group has launched a groundbreaking direct shipping service connecting Shanghai, China to Lagos, Nigeria, eliminating the need for transshipment and setting a new standard for speed and efficiency in maritime logistics. The announcement was made by Mr. Scanio Russo, Managing Director of Grimaldi Agency Nigeria and PTML Terminal. During a press briefing in Lagos, Russo emphasized that the new service would offer unmatched advantages, particularly its exceptional speed. With a transit time of just 27 days, it is set to become the fastest route in the industry. Nigerian importers will benefit from a seamless, direct shipping process, free from delays and transshipment, ensuring their goods arrive on time with greater reliability. The International Chamber of Shipping has partnered with 47 governments in a joint submission to the final round of negotiations at the United Nations International Maritime Organization. The goal is to establish a maritime greenhouse gas emissions pricing mechanism for international shipping, marking a significant step in reducing the industry's carbon footprint. The joint submission outlines proposed amendment to the IMO MARPOL Convention, which requires shipping companies to contribute to a new IMO Greenhouse Gas Strategy Implementation Fund based on the carbon dioxide equivalent emissions produced by their vessels. The primary aim of this mandatory charge is to bridge the cost gap between conventional marine fuels and greener alternatives, such as green methanol, ammonia, and hydrogen, thereby encouraging the widespread adoption of sustainable energy sources in maritime transport. And that concludes this week's edition of Tidbits on the Shipper. Thank you for joining us. See you again next week with more insights from the maritime world.
For more than 5 decades, we have empowered and protected the interests of shippers in the nation's maritime industry. Our focus is to facilitate trade, regulate tariffs and rates, as well as handle shippers' complaints on cargo losses, damage and non-delivery. We offer dispute resolution mechanism for shipping and trade disputes between shippers and service providers. We are Nigerian Shippers Council, Nigeria's port economic regulator, your gateway to a thriving maritime sector. Nigerian Shippers Council will meet you at the port of your need.
Thank you for staying with us on today's episode of The Shipper. We hope you found the insights enlightening. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms at NG Shippers for more updates on Nigeria's maritime industry. Until next time, stay informed and stay safe. Goodbye.